Hi cephalopods, and welcome back to the next lesson about roles. Last time we learned about the existence of roles and very briefly what their differences are. Though we don't really know what they do yet, so today we want to clarify that a bit more. And since every match starts from spawning in your base and then working your way up to the center of the map, we also want to go in that order with the roles. Which means we want to go from safety to danger basically. And as you already know, the safest area is the home of the backliner. So let's start there and investigate what the backliner actually does. Generally speaking, as a backliner, your main goal is to anchor the situation and to try to maintain your team's control. What this means is that your focus is not too much on expanding your turf and your score lead, but rather to not lose what you have already claimed. While on paper this might sound like an easy task, in reality that only applies to a best case scenario. When your team is really good and doing well in the match, then the backliner indeed doesn't have too much to worry about. But matches of such dominance are not the most common case to occur. Most matches used to go back and forth in terms of points and control, so you should rather look at those matches to prepare for your job as a backliner. Now let's have a look at the actual task. To provide the most safety to your team, you want to make sure that all of your turf can be utilized by your team to win fights against the opposing players. So in order to get an advantage on your own ground, you want to offer enough ink for your team to swim around and either to overcome the opposing attackers or to back out and resort to a defensive option. But the one thing you never want to happen on your own territory is getting sneaked up from behind. You always want to make sure that when you retreat into your own side of the map, that you do not have to care for anything coming from behind. The defensive option should always be the safe option. Whenever you decide to go for safety and retreat from a fight, then there should be no threat in your way to back out. Because otherwise, if your safe option wouldn't be safe, then it wouldn't really be an option at all. And fighting on your own turf wouldn't be much different than anywhere else. So make sure that you have the advantage of retreating when fighting on your own ground. This is basically what control over an area means. Which brings us back to the point. The job of the backliner is to keep control over your own turf and to make sure that there is nobody disturbing the safety of your potential retreating areas. To secure this control, the backliner needs a good awareness of the situation on the map. If you spot an opposing player sneaking into your turf, you have to get rid of him before he can conquer your ground and overtake your control. Invaders can be very dangerous to your defense, so you should always keep an eye out for them on the map. But control over ground isn't everything, except in turf war obviously. In every other mode, scoring points for the objective is the only thing that matters at the end of a match. So controlling ground isn't the only thing you have to care about as a backliner. If your weapon and your special allow for a safe intervention on the objective, then you should try to control that as well. But in case your weapon doesn't provide enough to stay safe while you care for the objective, then you shouldn't risk too much there and instead secure your surroundings and make sure that your own position is safe. Because by staying safe, you can have your teammates to super jump to your position so that they can help you to regain control over the objective again. That way you can passively help out on the objective and try to control the match. So as you can see, the backline is all about safety and control. You never really want to risk too much or be too aggressive when playing this role. Your safety is what the rest of your team has to build their foundation on. If you cannot provide enough safety on the backline, then your team is basically lost when the opponent has a decent offensive. So to do your job correctly, make sure you have enough ground painted for your team to swim around, and also to spot opponents when they repaint it. Make sure you always have your special ready in case you have to help out on the objective or to stop an opponent's push. And most importantly, make sure you do not get yourself into too much danger. You wanna survive at all cost. The backliner's life is the most valuable of the whole team. Be aware that if you die unnecessarily, you cost the team a lot. So really try to avoid getting splatted when you take on this role. And that is it for the basic description of the backline. Of course, there are plenty of different situations in a match that cannot be summarized here, but I hope you still got a rough idea what backline means by now. I would recommend you to just grab your favorite weapon and try to play this role, then you will soon get a better understanding of it and also find out if it fits your playstyle and your weapon set. If you already are a good backliner, do me a favor and share your thoughts and tips in the comments so that others can benefit from your experience and maybe also reach your level one day. And obviously, if you have questions about this role or anything else, you should ask them in the comments or join my Discord to chat with me and others about all kinds of stuff. And I have to say it again, if you know anyone who you think could be interested in Splatoon, please send them over to this channel here, because I believe most people don't really understand the game and I want to provide this knowledge to them so that they can enjoy the game on a higher level. So send all your squiddos to me and then they can see and learn this stuff. With that said, thank you all for watching and see you in the next video. Goodbye.